TLC, no scrubs. We are live on the Miguel and Holly and the Hits 961 Facebook page for Queen City Confessions.
If you want to get yours in, by the way, just text us. Text the word hits with your confession and send it to 96893. It'll remain anonymous.
Here's the first one. I'm the last one in my friend group to get married. For each of my friends, I have showed up and been the best bridesmaid I could possibly be. But I kind of always felt like the pity invite in my friend group. Now that they are in my wedding, I feel like only one of them have really showed up for me. Now that my wedding is a few months away, I kind of want to dump them from my wedding party and not have anyone. Think you need to say something.
You can do that. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty, like, you have to be really, something's got to be really wrong for you to want to revamp your whole wedding a few months before. So I guess you really need to sit down and think about like how this is going to impact your big day. Because remember, the wedding is actually about the marriage to your future spouse. And like, I know everybody puts so much pressure on like the day itself, but if it's going to be marred by having these people there, you can make some changes, I guess, but you might not be part of that friend group no more.
But also, if you feel like they're not showing up for you like you showed up for them, you should say something. I haven't talked about this because I didn't want to offend some of our friends, but my husband, Abe, felt a little slighted by his wedding party when it came to the bachelor party and all that. And so it was a little rough because he was like, he's one of those people that he can't just keep it under wraps. He had to let it out because it would just spoil everything else. And so he was honest with them and said, hey, I felt like you kind of dropped the ball. And they were like, we did. We're sorry. We're going to make it up to you. So I feel like if they're your friends, they'll understand where you're coming from.
Did they end up making it up?
They did. They did.
Okay.
Here's another confession. One time my boss gave me access to his email so I could send something for him while he was on vacation. He's older and doesn't know how it works, so I still have access. Every few weeks, I check his email and have found out how much everyone makes, his future plans for the business, and he has a girlfriend that's not his wife that he pays for. She has an apartment, car. It's insane. And the crazy thing is, his wife could easily find out. Girl, you need to leave that alone.
I was going to like, but at this point, it's almost like your guilty pleasure. Like, it's probably an escape from your real life. But my question is, well, you're getting it off your chest by sending it to us, obviously. But like, what do you do with all this information? Do you just keep going and like eating popcorn at this point? Like, how does that work?
I'm curious. Have you ever snooped into someone's email before? What did you find? Text hits in your message to 96893.
Yeah.
Now, Holly, we have a confession that I can't do on the show. We're going to have to take this to the podcast because because usually I can find a way to sort of like work around it and use euphemisms. But the nature of this and what the discussion would happen afterwards,
it's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
Okay, well, we do have an uncensored podcast for that reason. Exactly. I mean, that's not the reason for the podcast, but that's a great vehicle for it. And we do our uncensored podcast Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We do it live on YouTube and Facebook about 10:30, and it always gets posted to the iHeartRadio app at noon on those days or anywhere you find podcasts.
So just look for Miguel and Holly Uncensored, and I'll just give you a little hint. This one deals with a problem that a fan member has about her boyfriend, something about his body that she doesn't know how to address.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
And it's not appropriate for,
And it's not appropriate for the radio this early in the morning. So check out Miguel and Holly Uncensored wherever you listen to podcasts around noon. All right. It is 7:31. We've got to get to Blown Off. Now, Holly, who are we trying to help out and see why they haven't heard back from this person?
Nick is having trouble getting back in touch with Arabella. We actually, obviously, were able to get a hold of her. So, you know, they're both beyond with us. He says their one and only date went great. She said that he made a comment about her lips that was inappropriate. And she's like, I don't want to go out with him again. I got to know what the lips was.
All right. Well, let's find out why this blown off happened. And we will do that next. Right now, it's Taylor Swift on Hits 96.1.